goal is to win, for Christ's sakes. And you keep talking about the CBT. You keep talking about prospects and your long-term goal. Like, you just basically told us we ain't good enough. We suck. You let us down.
Angry Lou.
A hole the size of I don't even know what in that bullpen. Keep playing like dog.
Recall my manager, Lou.
Go get me a goddamn first baseman. That's what I want. I don't want an outfielder DH. I need a first baseman.
Okay, Lou, I'll ask you something.
What? How do you go into the season without a closer? How do you not address the closer situation?
Lou, what's up, dog?
Good, how are you doing? Good.
Well, it's always great to have you here, Lou.
Always nice to have the Lou Merloni Symphony Orchestra leading us into the voice of baseball in Boston. Our guy Lou Merloni. Lewis is brought to us by Shaw's and Star Market, where you can win free groceries in their Grand Slam Summer Sweepstakes. Lou, good afternoon. How are you, buddy?
I'm doing great, boys. How are we doing? Very exciting preseason game breakdown.
I was like, Lou is so happy right now because he probably didn't even waste his time with that game last night.
I watched the first two drives. After that, what the hell else was I supposed to do?
That's what I was going to say. It probably put you to sleep, didn't it? Right?
Yeah, after it's like, it's funny, because I heard you say it, and you need topics, and you got to talk and everything, but it's preseason. Like, all these, it's like, what? Who the hell am I watching? Half these guys aren't even going to be in the league. So it's hard. Those I tell you what, those scrimmages, though, between the Eagles next week, that'll be fun.
Oh, yeah, that'll be something.
Of course it'll be fun.
Those
it'll
are
be
better.
Exciting.
They're better.
And we'll be at the Jimmy Fun, which
That's
I'm sure you'll be there also because you're joining us on one of those days.
Yeah, that's right.
am.
I've heard.
You
Yes.
are, yeah. You're with us
A
one of those
full
days.
hour.
I want to say Tuesday. I don't know which day. I don't know. I'll figure it out.
Okay.
You'll know.
We're excited to see you, Lou. We
I'll
haven't
just
seen
pop
you in
in
a while.
I know. Like, I want to just hang out with the boys.
I
I got to
know.
do another hour in there. I like that the other day.
Right? Just quick in. You do a little big deal, no big deal. You'd like the topic today too. We got a big deal, no big deal, great topic, and we got a harder of the day candidate.
We do have a
Is that
true.
Steve Kerr?
No.
Good candidate though.
Yeah,
Good candidate.
right.
No,
Dumbass.
this one. Did you ever have a coach that before games did things that were unique to themselves? Like our hardo of the day is one of the Patriots coaches for what would be a total opposite Tristan Casas pregame routine. Did you have like an odd coach who, I don't know, would sit and sun himself in center field or something like that?
No, I didn't have too many of those guys. Some of them did the whole, running on the warning track with the white sock around their head as a bandana. That's kind of lame.
Wait,
but,
what?
Rather than wearing like a headband or something, they take one of those white socks that we would wear and wrap it around their head. But what is the anti-Tristan Casas? Like, get drunk, eat as much as you can before the game?
It's getting a good pump. You're not like sitting there in the sun, crisscross applesauce with your praying.
Yeah.
No, nothing like that.
So you had a pretty good road trip.
Yeah, it was good.
You personally and the Red Sox. I mean, is that pretty much as good as you could expect?
What, he break 80? I missed
Oh,
this.
no, a lot of eating. A lot of barbecue.
barbecue.
A lot of barbecue. I
Kansas City.
guarantee you Lou came back at least 10 pounds heavier.
5 to 6.
Did you get on the scale before and after your trip?
5 to 6. And I came back last night when I'm like, what do you want to eat? I'm like clams.
Oh,
you know
yeah.
What I mean? Like something light, just clams.
Nothing
some
fried.
oysters. Yeah,
nothing smoked
crazy.
for like 8 hours.
Yeah. No, it was
Clams
a
and oysters.
It
Put
was
some
a
thunder in your
really
back.
good. It was a really good trip. It's just, it's hard because you're 4-1 and it's right there in front of you, right? And like a sweep gets you a half game up and you drop it and it's like, well, it's still a good road trip, but you're leaving the field like, right? But I tell you, it was a great road trip record-wise, 4-2, but that last day really opened up some eyes about like what your biggest concern is and what the concern is the rest of the year. And there's no question it is rotation. Pavetta, they announced he's got to skip his next start. You hope that's going to do it. Cutter Crawford goes out there and, doesn't give up home runs, but now he's walking the park. So now you're worried that, like, is he a little afraid of contact, given what he's been through the last 3 or 4 games? So now he's nibbling. Tanner Houck looked great and then for 3 innings and then couldn't get through the 4th or 5th inning. And it was like, what happened there? So, yeah, the rotation's a concern going forward, even though it was a good trip.
Yeah, Lou, can we officially say that Houck has hit the wall?
Yeah, I don't know about the wall thing. It was funny. I'm sitting there watching the Royals, and like Seth Lugo's over his career high in innings. Reagan's is over his career high in innings, and they're still freaking throwing. You know what I mean? Like so the wall could be. It could be. Maybe it is with Cutter. I don't think it is with Tanner. I think that it's more of like a mechanical kind of like a quickly, and maybe you could put that in fatigue. The body isn't reacting, isn't as fresh, and it's harder to mechanically repeat things. I was never worried about a wall this time of year. I wasn't. I'm worried about a wall when you get about another 40 or 50 innings. Because if you go 110, you should have no problem going 140, 150 the next year. Not at all. That's called a buildup, and they're both healthier. It's the 180, 190 that they're approaching, and you're like, now we got some problems.
Yeah, and for those, just quickly, Lou kind of nailed the numbers. Last year was 106 innings pitched in 21 games started. Houck right now, 22 starts, 134 innings, and we still have 2 months to go.
Yeah.
So, Lou, is it is that problem like the starting rotation and how they struggle? Because they do, for me, they feel worn out and it'll beat up, and I'm curious to see how, what kind of tricks and moves Cora makes in order to kind of, I don't know, string this along as much as possible. But is the fact that they've been hitting so well almost kind of, almost like, overshadowed their issues with the rotation because they've been hitting so well?
Yeah, because they're hitting so well, they're allowed to stay in it.
Yeah.
And I saw a stat, I don't know, Boston Info, like 36-2 when they score 5 or 6 runs, and now they're 7-6 in the last 13 they've done it. And so because they're scoring and they're really destroying right-handed pitching, they're winning ball games, but are they capable of winning 3-1, 3-2, 4-2? And that's the area where I don't think so, but you can continue to swing it here in the regular season and continue to pile up some wins, and you got to get to the postseason first, but you got to be able to throw the baseball. So hopefully these guys, I've been saying it for a week or two, get like this second wind, that sometimes you can kind of, late July, early August, all of a sudden end of August, it's like, boom, something kind of kicks in, and you hope it does because they're really light in this rotation right now, and they got to turn that around.
Lou Merloni with Gresham and Fourier, as he is each and every Friday at noon. Lou, we had a texter say, why do the Red Sox have a losing record at home? Is it circumstance? Is there anything you could put your finger on? Any hypothesis on this?
Yeah, no, that's a tough one. I don't have an answer because it's it started off bad, right? 3-7 at home, right. And I think when you look at it, and I don't have numbers in front of me, but for some reason they're awful defensively at home. Like they're just, when they go on home and they lose games, it's because they kick the ball around left and right. Then they go on the road and they play better defense, and there's actually the occasional exceptional play, and well, there's a lot of them, I should say, with this team. They've made some great plays defensively, but at home, it's runners in scoring position and errors. I would bet you that those are the two big factors at home, and you really can't explain that. So I don't really know what it is.
And that's not the outfield; that's the infield, right? It's the infield that's the one there kicking the ball all over the place.
It feels like second base at home is just like you don't even have people over there half the time.
Yeah, and then a little bit in the outfield too, right? Because it's almost like this team's really good with the ball in the air, but on the ground is when they make errors a lot of times, right? Like a ground ball hit to him, he charges it hard and it goes under his glove, or he bobbles it and kicks it, and it's a little bit of everything. To be honest, I think they have been better defensively. It's just that they'll randomly have that one game where they make 3 or 4.
So, Lou, the other aspect is this Masataka Yoshida. Masa-san. Was that how you call him? Okay, fine. No. I do think it's interesting. Here's a guy that you're like, holy crap, what a mistake he was. Then he goes on a heater hitting, and I'm just going to paraphrase the quote that was translated to the media. And I'm curious if you think this was like a shot or almost like a request for more opportunities just to play instead of just DHing, is when he said the only way I can help the team is by hitting.
Yeah.
Was that a shot, or is he just being honest and truthful? Was he like, because there's no like emphasis on like his tone or if he was being sarcastic or right? Because when it's translated, it's just, well, the only way I can help the team is if I hit. I felt like I'm wondering if you feel like he feels like he should be playing more, or is he just really happy he's just a designated hitter?
Well, yeah, I don't think he's happy being a designated hitter, but I think deep down when he looks around, he realizes that he's probably the 9th best defensive outfielder, on this team, and I would put 3 or 4 infielders ahead of him. So it's we just saw too much of it last year, and we've seen too much of it the good side this year. Guys like Duran in left field, like using his speed to get the balls that Masa couldn't. O'Neill earlier in the year, I think moving better, getting to balls. Refschneider getting to balls that he wouldn't have. Romy Gonzalez went out there and looked better, so it's like he's the DH. And And this is kind of who, Core always wanted him to be. Like, it was like the fans are like, you're the designated hitter, you should hit 30. And it's like, no, he's not going to do that. He's going to hit you 15, maybe, whatever, but he can be a 300 hitter. He can get on base at a 370 clip. Just be a good hitter in that 6th, 7th, and 8th. Now, is that what you want out of your DH? It's just the reality. And the question of whether he fits in the future, because you really need a right-handed bat, and that may be the spot at designated hitter, that's up for debate. That's something in the offseason I think needs to be addressed. But right now, he's just being a good hitter, and they're dangerous when he's in that 6th, 7th spot swinging it the way he is, or the third hole against righties.
Lou, what version of the Astros will we see this weekend?
Well, the good news is I don't think they have their lefties. I think it was Valdez and Kikuchi through the other day, so it's going to be all righties. It's still a respected team, a veteran group. We know who their hitters are in that lineup. They have some very dangerous hitters. It's just their rotation is so damn beat up, but you can't count them out. This is what happens when you play a team like they did with the Rangers and all these teams. Cleveland early on, you're going to play them this weekend, then you're going to go on the road and you're going to play them again. It's like, okay, which version are you going to get them in these next week or two? Because there are teams that play great for like 3 weeks and then crappy for like 3 weeks, right? Like, depends sometimes when you catch teams. So it's a big series against those guys. They're sort of hanging on with Seattle, more for the division than the wild card, but it's still got a long way to go. You never know.
So, Lou, I'm also curious, since you were with the team over this road trip, and are you staying in the hotel with the team?
Yeah.
All right. So, what was like the general vibe of the team as far as like their overall attitude since the trade deadline?
I think they're happy with, they got additions, you know what I mean? They got what they really needed, what was faltering, and guys in that clubhouse were with Paxton last year. They know what he's capable of. They did see him tire because that was expected, year off of Tommy John, but he got that 1 year out of his belt on his, underneath him. So hopefully he can be stronger throughout the year. So I think they'd look at it. Offensively, I still felt like they were looking around going, yeah, we could use another bat, but I don't know if it's needed. We just need to figure out, who's going against lefties. But I think they kind of are satisfied. I don't think they're over the moon. You know what I mean? Like, over the moon would be like you going out and getting that ace starter, not like, 4th or 5th guy, that big, like, right-handed bat, that hit 3rd in your lineup, not 7th or 8th. So, but I think they're satisfied in that, like, they always felt like they had enough. They just needed a little bit of help, and he got a little bit of help.
But do you think that they believe that they got a legit shot?
Yes.
Like, they got so they all are honestly, amongst themselves, like, oh, look, we can play against anybody, right?
Yes, I think, yes. Absolutely. Think about it. Right now, you are 4 games in the loss column behind the Yankees and the Orioles, who have the best record in the American League. You're 4 games off in the loss column for the best record in the American League. Like, it's so tight. You've got 50, whatever it is, games left, 53 games left. But I do think everyone there, the veterans, they're realistic. They look at their rotation and say, we got to get a second wind. You know what I mean? We got to get Tanner Houck back locked in. We got to give Tanner and Cutter kind of going out there and keeping us in ball games. We need Nick Pivetta healthy. So that is still a reality. You can load up this bullpen all you want, and you can try to use the bullpen to carry this rotation for the next day or next week or two. But if you keep asking 5 innings from a bullpen, we know what that looks like in September. You got Garcia and you got Sims, and everyone's like, they have fresh arms. Well, they've been pitching for their teams. Okay, it's not like they've just been resting until you traded for them. So they're not exactly rested. They're veterans. They can hold on to it. But if this rotation can't start giving them length, that great bullpen is going to get worn.
Lou, you saw him. How good's that Bobby Witt Jr.?
He's the best player in the league.
Is he your MVP if you had to vote right now?
Well, I mean,
him and Judge have been great this year.
It's hard to ignore Judge and what he's doing. Judge is the best hitter, but he's the best player in the league. Like he can hit with power. He's hitting with average. He's hitting with running scoring position. He's the fastest guy in the league, and he's elite defensively. And he's got an absolute cannon for an arm. So it's like this debate, who's the better player, Judge or Witt? It's Witt. He's the better baseball player. Judge is the better hitter and a historic hitter at that. And because of that, he'll probably win MVP because of the numbers he's going to put up. But if there was a draft, I'm taking Witt, and I'm going to pitch around Judge.
And isn't he isn't his dad from Canton?
Yeah.
Is he a local guy?
Yeah.
Right? Did you go to high school here? Where did you go to high school? Canton?
See, not everything crazy comes out of Canton.
Right? It's true. That's true. Good point, Lou. Good point.
What a way to end it right there.
Yeah.
That's it. Mic drop from our guy, Lou Merloni, the voice of baseball in Boston. You hear him on the Shaws and Star Market, WEEI Red Sox Network. Great stuff, Lou. Thank you, pal, and we'll see you next week.
All right. Have a great weekend,
All right,
guys.
later, man.
All right, you
Later.
too. That was great stuff there from Lou. Well done. Oh, yeah, it is.
My wife's from Canton. Again, she's not crazy.